Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. I've been gone for a while. I didn't have really stuff to do. My brain just didn't function. My head was not cooperating with me. So basically what happened is that my depression kept me on the couch all day, basically unable to do anything productive. I want to talk about that today in the context that there is the possibility that there is a person, someone in your life that can help you get out of that, just like my boyfriend did help me out of that for 3 whole weeks. So this kind of was a big thing for me because I have trouble staying away from home for a long period of time. Everything more than a few days is just too long. I don't like change. Even though I feel safe with my boyfriend and he has his own apartment, I like being at my parents' place more. It's probably because I've lived here for basically my whole life. But I have been working on that, and I want to visit my boyfriend more often because he works full-time and I don't want him to always have to drive the 2 hours to my place, and I don't have an issue with driving. So whatever, why not go there for a weekend or for a whole week while he's working even? That wouldn't be an issue. But it's been a while since I've been at my boyfriend's place. I think the last time was in January because I had so much shit to do with the surgery, all the appointments, and then the surgery itself, and kind of getting used to this new life and whatever. It was a lot. A visit was definitely overdue. So at the end of July, beginning of August, he had 2 weeks free from work, and at first we said, well, both of those weeks I can come to him, but then I think I got an appointment in that week with my gynecologist, so we said he comes to me for a week. So we spent the first week here, and I think once we went to the city, and on one day we celebrated my little sister's birthday. But I think other than that, we didn't really do much. I was in a really bad headspace. We did decorate my filming setup here a little bit. There was on an evening where I had I had a mental breakdown and I was bawling my eyes out. And so he was just like, well, let's distract you. Let's decorate with the stuff you bought for that space. So we did that, and it kind of helped. It kind of helped distract me. But other than that, we basically just watched YouTube videos, watched some movies, and I don't know, it kind of slowly built up to me feeling better. But it took time because I was at such a low place. So on the weekend of that first week, we drove the 2 hours to Switzerland to my boyfriend's place, and the drive was super pleasant. When you don't have to drive by yourself on your own, it's always more pleasant. Even though I'm a really bad passenger, I have noticed in that time with him, I knew already that I don't like if I don't have control over the car. I don't know if it was because I was in a bad mental headspace anyway, but I felt like I was overly anxious as a passenger, so I'm sorry. So on the first weekend at his place, we went to his parents' place and we celebrated my boyfriend's birthday. This was the first time that I was eating in a proper social gathering, I guess. That's also away from home. So I wasn't in my safe space, and it was the first time eating in a social gathering after my surgery that wasn't at home. And my anxiety went through the fucking roof. Mentally, it was super, super exhausting, and my social battery drained so fast, and I'm still sorry for that because you probably wanted to stay a bit later, but at some point I was like, hey, I can't anymore. This is just too much for me. I have to leave. So I had some time to recharge my social battery, I guess, and then a few days later we visited my boyfriend's aunt and uncle. So that was then my second social gathering, eating after surgery, which was not at home. But this one was much easier since there were less people, I think, and also his aunt and uncle have 2 super cute dogs. Well, one super cute dog, the other one is from their daughter, I think. They are super, like, I mean, pets are kind of just, they can calm you down so much, and I think that also really helped. And also in that week, my boyfriend and we went to the zoo in Basel, and I actually posted a YouTube shorts from the flamingos, which was really funny. And it was such a good time. But I also was super anxious beforehand because I knew that would include a lot of walking. And the thing I did before we went to my boyfriend's place is I tried on an old pair of shoes that I was never able to wear because they were too like tight, like on the sides, too tight. I tried them on and they fit and they didn't hurt, and that was the only pair of shoes I had with me. So I was like, what if it's not good for so much walking? I didn't know that, and so there was kind of a risk, I guess. But honestly, we had a great time. I didn't complain about like my feet hurting once because they just didn't. I don't know. Like afterwards, I noticed it and I think I said something, but throughout the whole day, I was like I didn't say anything, and I'm not used to my feet not hurting like a bitch. And the zoo visit lasted for like 3 to 4 hours, and we walked the whole time except for like 2 5 to 10 minute breaks where we ate a little bit. But other than that, we were walking and standing the whole time. It was so worth it. Like, I love animals, and that was such a cool experience. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's still so surprising to me how much easier it is for me to do things when I'm with my boyfriend. You gotta remember, all of this I've done after weeks of feeling awful, after my mental health was basically at my lowest since early 2022, before I went to the last mental health clinic. Yeah, you gotta put that into perspective. Like, I was at such a low place that I thought I couldn't do anything, but with my boyfriend I felt good enough, strong enough to do things, to actually be a bit productive. He supports me with all these big life changes, like with therapy, with all the mental health clinics I was in, with starting uni, with the weight loss surgery. Like, he supports me no matter what. So anyway, after that I stayed for another week at his place. He had to work again, so I was like basically the same as it is at home. Like, I was alone all day, and then in the evening I had some social interactions. Like, I still noticed like the difference that I just wasn't at home. Like, after those 2 weeks I was really ready to go back home, but I'm also really proud of myself that I did as well as I did in those 2 weeks. And it's very important for me to practice this, since of course at some point I want to move in with my boyfriend at some point in the future, and I would like to do this more often with these long visits at his place. But I have so many appointments basically every month, every few weeks, which I have to be here for, so I can't just constantly stay at his place. And I also have this little baby, so yeah, I have her at home. My little baby, she's like 5 years old now, I think, and I can't constantly leave her alone. Like, my family, my little sister, my parents, they care for her when I'm gone. It's different for her. Like, I'm home 24/7, and of course my family can't do that. Like, they have work, my sister has school, so it doesn't work. Isn't that right, baby? Oh, you don't like being held, no? We actually were planning to buy a cage for her from my boyfriend's place to put in his apartment so I could take her with me. Because again, I don't want to leave her alone for like more than 2 weeks, or like regularly on a regular basis for like a week or two. But we didn't do that this time because I was like, well, it's only 2 weeks, it's gonna be fine, and I'm not gonna do this often. So, but maybe we'll do this like in the near future so I can visit him more often for longer periods of time. She's such a cutie. Are you cutie? You wanna go back in your cage? Yeah, baby. You wanna go on the table? No, not my laptop. Now I'm full of fur. Let's ignore that. I immediately gave her a treat, and she like, when she gets treats, she knows where I have to go to give her treats, and she was super excited right now, and she like ran through the cage and then with her paws into the water bowl, so yeah, so I've been home for 2 weeks now, I think, and I'd be lying if I said I'm feeling well. It's so fascinating to me how much positive influence one person can have on your well-being. But luckily, I see my boyfriend every few weeks. I'll actually be at his place on the day this video comes out. I have hair everywhere. But the thing is, I have to be very, very careful with this whole like situation, because it can happen that I could become dependent on my boyfriend just to feel good, which has happened to me in the past with friendships, and that is not a good feeling, especially when these friendships like grow apart. Like, oof. A few years back, a psychiatrist told me it's like a dependent personality disorder, but I did a little bit of research, and I think it's part of the borderline personality disorder that I have. I think like a lot of these personality disorders that I got diagnosed like years back all come together in BPD, and I'll go into that in another video. And with BPD comes like focusing on one person and making that person like the light of your life. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. In those 3 weeks, we cooked pretty healthily. I tried some new things. I lost some more weight. I know I have missed like the second monthly weigh-in. Like, I started monthly weigh-in and already missed the second one, but in September one is coming, I swear to God. I promise that. I think we have reached some milestones at that point, so we'll see, I guess. But for now, I'm gonna leave this video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like down below. Give me your comments and suggestions down below as well, and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more content like this, like about mental health, about my journey through weight loss surgery. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day or night wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye!